So, when we think about this idea of aging in place, and you look around and people are bent over, and think about, your aunts and uncles and the people who you see, how are they aging? And then, if they have a chronic condition that is not hereditary, and do your research on what really is hereditary, or if it's the behaviors that are inherited. So, my grandfather, he had this tilt. So, like, his body was like, it almost seemed like it was like a natural tilt. And so my mother has the tilt, and one of my aunts has the tilt, and my other aunt, is on a walker, and so she has the tilt. So is the tilt preventable or is it hereditary? So I was at a friend's house and a picture was taken, and this was probably like 10, 15 years ago. Picture was taken, and I had the tilt. I was like, oh no. And so I am fighting against the tilt. I'm going to a chiropractor, and even I have this pump, body pump, spinal pump, and literally on the back of it, it shows like this progression as you age, and it's like going forward, and it's like, can we fight against the tilt? I promise. Whenever I see somebody bent over, tilted over, like it makes me correct my posture if I'm tilted over. And so I challenge you to just look around, look at the people who are aging around you, and are they aging gracefully, or do you see yourself following their lead and following their habits? Because what I know is, so I'm on this 10-day challenge, right? And this is day 4. And what I'm realizing is that eating is a habit. Eating is a habit. I remember, shout out to Rachel Wyatt. We went to Tanzania in 2020, like right before COVID hit, 2020. And so it was like, she said Americans don't even know when we're hungry because we eat so much that we don't even really know what true hunger is. And even on this fast, I realized that eating is a habit. Drinking coffee is a habit. All of those things are habits. And we can break those habits with some, a fast might be a bit aggressive, but we have to be aggressive if we want to change these generational conditions that can be prevented with some changes in our lifestyle. So if we want to age in place, what can you do? Number one, what aging do you see around you that you're like, you know what? I don't want to follow that pattern. And then secondly, what can you do to change? Now, I know some of you all are against plant-based lifestyle, but the evidence is there. And so I strongly advise you to consider maybe have just like meatless Monday where one day a week you don't have any meat. I was listening to somebody who was talking about like growing up, meat was not at every meal. So, now we're like breakfast, lunch, and dinner. You have to have meat. Do you really? Beans are, because, and I can hear you saying, well, where do you get your protein from? Well, think about an elephant. Where does the elephant get his protein from? Elephants are strong, right? But beans are very high in protein. And turn over and look, next time you're in the grocery store, get a bag of beans, turn it over, and look at all of the benefits and nutrients that are in beans. They're high in protein, they're high in fiber, they're high in potassium, like they're high in a lot of things. So what if we just took a bean and the bean was our new hamburger, if you will? And instead of, well, you don't want to put beans in your spaghetti, but do what you want to do. But just think about when you have tacos. What if you used beans and just the taco seasoning, you just use the taco seasoning for the beans? Like when you do chili, the chili seasoning for the beans. Think about red beans and rice. Seasoning for the red beans and rice. They say that a bean and rice is a complete protein. So Don't come to me with that. Where you get your protein from? You get your protein from beans. Vegetables have some protein in them as well. So, how are you going to age in place? And what changes are you going to make today so that if the people around you are not aging gracefully, what are you going to do to change it? All right, that's what I got for you today. Let's go. Watch your posture.